welcome back to week 6 of the Dungeon World Pathfinder crossover. I am, of course, GM Arthur Perkins. I'd like to thank Roll20 and Adam Coble, who is the author of Dungeon World, for hosting us tonight. There are going to be a lot of new people watching us, so I just want to fill you in exactly on what is happening. We're using the Dungeon World system to play through a Pathfinder RPG module called Tears at Bitter End. Because Dungeon World has some fundamental differences between the way it plays and the way Pathfinder plays. This has led to a unique story experience, but so far it's followed the very rough outline of the module story to a considerable degree. One that I'm quite happy with, both the way the players are playing and following the story arc. I suspect that by the end, the actual pre-written story is going to be in complete pieces because the players have already leapt ahead and figured out most of what's going on. Yes, thank you. Most of the players here do have facial hair, except for Jim. We can all just mock Jim. So let's introduce ourselves. I am Arthur Perkins, Game Master and showrunner here at APGamingREAL. I've had a great day of taking care of a sick cat. Most of what I did. I'm also writing next Monday's Edge of the Empires storyline because Monday was crazy. I want to throw it real quick to Zircon5, aka Virgil Levenger. Virgil, how are you doing this week? Haven't seen you since Monday. I think you're muted, buddy.
We had an insane Edge of the Empire game.
We did.
We were doing some frying, so I muted myself up. Yeah, it was a great game, which is on the YouTubes now at youtube.com/APGamingREAL if you want to check that out. I'm really excited about continuing this campaign. Really been having fun with it last week, so I just think it's going to get even better. Yeah, if you guys want to check out other stuff that I do, my Twitch is twitch.tv/Zircon5. You can follow me on Twitter at Virgil Levenger.
Now, is it true that on your channel, twitch.tv/Zircon5, that you run a number of Dungeon World games?
Yeah,
That's just what I've heard.
I do one-shots mostly, little one-shots, and if people are interested in jumping in on a streamed game sometime, you can send me a Twitch PM.
Are you saying, Virgil, that you do viewer games for Dungeon World?
Yeah, viewer games for Dungeon World is a real-life thing that happens, and I'd be very happy to spend some time chatting with anyone interested. So yeah, hit me up. Follow the Twitter for more updates.
I see we're keeping our usual level of terrible advertising. I just want to say I learned from the ShamWow guy, so that's all I have to go on.
Learn from Jesse Cox.
Should have learned from Krendor, right? Have you seen?
I know, he's next level. That's
Saga?
Next level.
Yeah, that's some next level. All right.
It's like freestyle rapping or something. It's like a whole new level.
Jim, how are you doing?
I'm doing well tonight. Much better than last week when I thought I was just really tired and was in fact getting sick. And I have recovered from that, and so I'm looking forward to playing Frederick William Mayfield the 14th tonight.
I heard, I don't want to emphasize this too much, but I heard that you watched my Hitofu boyfriend playthrough earlier.
I may regularly watch youtube.com/APGamingREAL.
See, you guys keep saying that, but if they go to that, it's going to come up with nothing because it's youtube.com/C/APGamingREAL.
So,
I didn't want to jump in there when Virgil said it, but
I did, like 45 minutes ago, watch Hitofu Boyfriend. That is
bad. That is
a special kind of terrible.
Yep. Yeah. I still have no idea what's going on. All right, Michael, how are you doing this week?
Pretty good, actually. Work has been some strange fun.
Excellent. Excellent. Nothing else to add? We're just going for the short thing today?
Well, I thought we were going for brevity.
We are.
There.
We are going for the brevity.
All right.
All right, Thor. I think you had a prepared statement you wanted to read.
I have a prepared statement here, but I have one other thing, and I hate it when I can't remember the English word. You have watched Vikings as much as I do. What is, and people are talking about facial hair here on the chat, Ragnar Lodbrok, or it has a, like, you know, really big, like, on his chin, sort of.
The goatee?
Well, like a,
We just have here.
Is it just called a goatee, even if it's, you know, really long?
like a goat's, you know, little thing.
It's
Goatee.
It's still just called a goatee. I thought goatee was like restricted to.
Yeah. He doesn't have
Small.
a goatee.
He's got, like, you know, he's got a
He's
long.
got a serious beard, man.
Yeah. Okay. Then we have that.
I guess it depends on what season you're watching, right?
I have finished watching all three because they are awesome. And he's
Also because you're from Iceland, right?
Yep.
I'd like to imagine that in Iceland, it's like how you know, lots of people have many more words for snow in their language. Like, I imagine you guys have like 40 or 50 different like goatee
Racist.
length words.
Yeah, we just but you know, as far as beards go, we just go with, you know, beard or no beard. But we do call it. We do actually have a word for when it's just on your chin, which is hökutopper. Which is basically chin top. But yeah. So of course, it being Iceland and the winter is coming, and all that. Yes, I am growing a beard to keep warm because it is seriously friggin' cold. Apart from that, Play Killing Floor 2, it's awesome, and I just wanted to let everybody know that I am super stoked for next week. Not that any of you are going to be in Iceland, sadly, to witness it. We've got the Reykjavik International Film Festival going on, and next Thursday, David Cronenberg is coming to our store. I work at a gaming store, the one and only gaming store in Iceland, Nexus. Visit us if you're ever in Iceland. David Cronenberg will be signing pretty much everything. He has said no to body parts, whether or not they are living or dead.
Awesome.
Yes. Other than that, great week. Keeping it short.
All right. Now, does anyone remember what happened last time?
Yes. We were looking to meet one of our contacts, one of the 4 members of the Golden Watch. And we knew he was in a retirement home.
Well, that's what you guys were doing. I was just like
a retirement
drinking
home
in a
in
bar.
Hope's Hollow. And we went to find him at said retirement home, and it was they did not want to let us in, no less see him, and they wouldn't sell me the retirement home, those silly people. And so we kind of aggressively entered the retirement home, wherein we were attacked by the staff, who turned out to be demons. And we lawfully defended ourselves.
You were attacked by
Demons.
Demons and some sort of
Exploding
demon-ish.
Also,
Yeah.
cockroaches.
Cockroaches.
they were-
Oh god, the cockroaches.
They were the demons were sustaining themselves on like the hopes and dreams of the people that worked
Yes.
and lived there.
As we learned,
Yeah, it was
daemons
pretty friggin'
feed
terrible.
on emotion, and those particular daemons ate on hope.
Yeah.
Although I believe the orderlies were pretty human. At least they acted pretty human.
Yes, they also ran away.
Yeah. Which was a sensible thing to do.
It was, because you were killing everything.
Yeah.
I mean, we thought as soon as I'd established that the owner/manager, whatever, was a demon, as soon as he started politely stabbing me in the chest and stomach, I had pretty much enough of it and started stabbing him back. So
Very politely as well.
very politely as well.
It was a very polite exchange of stabbings. And I would like to just mention that I did join the group last week.
Yeah.
So everything that's happening is like news to my character.
Yeah.
So we have a couple of outstanding things we need to resolve. First off, Judge Red, you need to mark down that you have outstanding warrants in Hope's Hollow.
All right.
Whenever you re-enter Hope's Hollow, you have to make rolls for that.
Is
Now,
that a bond or just
no,
random note?
it's a move. It's actually one of the basic moves called outstanding
Okay.
warrants. Now, the second thing is, of course, the bonds. We resolved a number of bonds last time, and some of you need to be brought up to your bond capacity. I'm hoping you guys actually worked on bonds during the week.
Wow.
Well, it looks like
I
my
was
hope
so
should have been
busy.
eaten by the demons.
Well,
as
yes.
well.
Yeah.
Well, yes, I
They were-
did. But I didn't need
Oh.
to. But I still did.
Okay.
I thought of how to resolve them, but you know, I already have 4.
Well, let's start with you, Thor. Eladamre. What kind of bonds is Eladamre racking?
I still have my bond that I have sworn to protect Frederick William Mayfield the 14th, or as I like to call him, Freddy, or F-14, or whatever comes to mind. I would like to make up to what I did to the wizard, Peronin, that about 30 years ago, his apprentice stole his robe, which we both thought was magical and the source of his powers, and he managed to convince me that he needed it to do some good deeds, and blah blah blah, and I let him get away with it and didn't say anything. Now it turns out that it looks like
This is way too long for a bond. It needs to just be 1 or 2 sentences.
yeah. Basically, the bond is that I want to make up to Peronin now that I met him again. Make up for lying to him and help him get back on his feet because first time I met him, he was I saw some old guy eating rats, and I was like, oh shit, what did I do? Is this the path I set him on? Dread. I would like to explore whether or not he holds up to all of the stories I've heard about him from Freddy, Frederick William Mayfield the 14th.
Okay.
I've heard so many tales of him, and I want to know if he holds up to them. And then I want Freddy to stop fanboying over Dread because, he needs to write some stories about himself and do some other more important stuff. Instead of constantly being Dread's fanboy. I want to try and put an end to that, amicably. I'm not going to do that by stabbing Dread or anything.
Okay. Is that 4? I wasn't actually keeping count.
That was my 4.
Excellent.
And yeah, a little long-minded. Sorry.
Anybody else got 4 bonds?
I have 4 bonds.
Let's talk about them.
Yes, the 3 that were outstanding. Peronin is deserving of my charity, and I shall give it to him because, we met him eating rats, and that's just unacceptable.
Let me just say, I think that's probably the best move I've ever made in any role-playing game. Everyone just showered me
Flocked
with
to
gifts.
you, yes. Yeah, the pity was great. I am writing a ballad of the adventures of Enkaresh, though he seems to have disappeared. For unknown reasons. I sang songs of Judge D. Red long before I ever met him in person, because, he's a great Taldan hero after all. He's the law. But most recently, after observing him for a session, I have learned that Peronin uses strange magics, and I must understand them.
Okay. Peronin, do you have your 4?
Well, I have 3, because if I remember correctly, I only played with 3 people
That's correct.
this week. So I have for Judge D. Red, the Judge D. Red will play an important role in the events to come. I have foreseen it. I have still from last week, Frederick William Mayfield the 14th is woefully misinformed about the world. I will teach them all that I can. I have replaced the one for Eladamri with Eladamri did me a favor. I owe him one. Which is for actually informing me who took my robes. Because I don't know the circumstances under which that happened. And since I haven't met Enkarash, is that the pronunciation? Yeah. I just put Enkarash as not trustworthy.
That's true.
That is true. He is very untrustworthy. He's also
Excellent.
not here.
All right, Red, what do you got for bonds?
I have Frederick's misguided behavior endangers his very soul. Eladamri has stood by me in battle and can be trusted completely. And Peronin is a brave soul. I have much to learn from him. And the fourth one, like Peronin, it's kind of like just a floating one, but I need to convince someone that I do actually know the law.
Yeah, you do. All right. Excellent. So, I believe we left off with you in front of the Mother's Care Home for Invalids. You currently have a magical sword, which you took from the bedside of Dern Fozamuth, and you have a quest to save Branda Tulls and Ignail Vernus from the evil clutches of the horrible alchemist, who also stole the robe of Peronin, Terrigan Flynn. In order to get there, you're going to have to cross at least 3 days of some of the darkest, most evil forest ever known to man. The Verduran forest.
And while we're crossing the Verduran forest, we were asked to look into 3 creatures, I believe.
You were asked to do a number of things. You just
But
ignored most of them.
according to my oh-so fancy schmancy notes,
Yeah,
that are
that's
written
true.
on the back
You
of
were
my
asked
Gilbert desk calendar.
Do you remember which 3 creatures you're supposed to look into?
They are on this particular iteration of my notes. The water serpent, the dead tree creature, and the elk that sets things on fire with its mind.
Yep. All of those are true. Excellent. So you're outside of the Mother's Care Home for Invalids. What do you guys want to do? I think that it's was it Eladamri and Peronin who are inside?
No, I believe
No, wait.
I was outside with
me and Freddie.
Judge D-Red.
Yeah, me and Freddie were in...
Because remember, I was like, are you a demon? You've got to tell me if you're a demon.
Oh,
that was
boy.
outside. That
Yep.
was like the last thing that happened.
That happened. So what do you guys want to do? Like, everyone regroups back together.
What I really want to know right now is why am I called Justin Fan on the Twitch chat? That is annoying me. But as for the game,
What?
we need to get to the... we need to get to... oh, damn, I forgot his name. His house, where he had a lockbox full of stuff for us. The guy who had a scimitar and was poisoned to death. And I totally blanked on his name.
Dern Fozamuth?
Dern Fozamuth. There we go. Yeah, he died sort of in our arms, gave us his sword, and told us everything. And I forgot his name as thanks. I feel really good about myself. But we need to get to his house, where he said he had some magical items that may be of use to us before we head into the forest. And we need to do so fast, because considering that we found out that everybody is in the alchemist's pocket, or at least report to him, we probably don't have much time.
This whole region is corrupt.
More correctly, what you've learned is that Terrigan Flynn has bribed a number of law enforcement officials and judges to look the other way, because he has lots and lots of money.
As I said, this whole region is corrupt.
So you guys come out to tell us that you have the sword and stuff?
Yeah, I mean, we already told you we had the sword,
Yeah.
I think we established that, we told you
Last
he
session.
died because of poison by Turgon Flynn. He had a scimitar that I didn't actually tell anybody, but I felt really warm and comfortable and felt really nice, having that sword.
Looks like a nice
don't-
sword.
I don't know. It gave me a warm and happy feeling. So it's probably good. I mean, cursed swords wouldn't do that. Anywho.
And I'm like, we're outside. I'm like peeking back in though. Is there any movement inside, Arthur?
Back inside the
Like,
Mother's Care Home for Invalids?
Yeah.
No. You've escorted all of the residents
there's-
of it out.
okay. Everyone's been freed. And I assume that they're just standing around, right?
Well, there was that girl kind of over.
Yeah, there was the one girl. I'm gonna try to ask her. I'll go across the street. Is
Yeah.
she still there?
Let's see.
Or did she run screaming when the combat started?
I believe she's helping a number of people. It's Mura Bowles.
Okay. Yeah. Okay. As
And
long
she's
as she's
probably like escorting people to safety,
Okay,
right?
good.
Because instead of just having a bunch of senior citizens who have been poisoned and left for dead for years, standing in the middle of the street, she's like bringing them to some sort of public park with lots of benches and sitting areas. And
Yeah, and when she
probably
comes
calling
over
it-
to get me, I'm like, get out of here! I'm an adventurer.
so yeah, Mura's just like, yes, of course, grandfather, just come with me.
No, I'm with them. Seriously,
Yep, just
I just stabbed a guy earlier.
of course, just and she like wraps her arm into yours and starts leading you. Your adventuring friends are waiting just over there. Look.
You know what? I am just going to let me just double check my character sheet to make sure that it has a little check mark next to. Where is my character sheet? I have too much stuff open. Yeah, invisibility. I pull my arm off, like look at her, and then I just turn invisible.
All right. Sounds like you're casting a spell, right?
I certainly am going to cast a spell
Let's
with
do it.
my intelligence. First roll of the day.
It is your first roll. A 7, huh?
Okay,
Move
so
moves.
ooh, let's see here. What are my choices? Off my sheets.
Nothing good for you.
Something bad. Where's my wizard?
You pull your
Not
arm
that
off.
old.
Someone's making too many Star Wars
I
references.
will take the spell disturbs the fabric of reality, and I'll take the -1 ongoing for
Okay.
spells.
In what way do you disturb the fabric of reality? How do you violate the time-space causality?
Well, I think I still did it when I was touching her, possibly, and accidentally almost turned her invisible. You know, it's real easy to slip up if you're in direct contact with someone. It's very natural to turn someone invisible. You just touch them and then cast the spell. So I was still touching her, and then I had to like panic and like readjust my arcane magics to not do that because it wasn't my plan. And then I'm a bit
Yes.
shaken up.
I
And
think
this-
that Mura like starts calling out. She's like, "Mr. Spellcaster!" And then she turns and looks at Frederick William Mayfield the 14th. She says, "Excuse me. I'm
Yes.
afraid that there is a senile old wizard in the area. I was trying to escort him to his friends, but he started casting magic and disappeared. I'd hate for him to get lost and wander off somewhere. Do you happen to know where he is?"
When she
Uh,
stops talking, you probably just hear like like a wheeze old man like right next to you. You can just like hear me breathing.
Frederick William Mayfield the 14th sort of looks around for a moment and is like, "Don't worry, ma'am. We'll take care of him. It will be fine."
Okay. So she's just like, "All right, sure."